Hello. Today's topic, which we are going to discuss, is about the ultimate learning management system, Moodle. I have been using this software for nearly 20 years and I've seen it evolve. Currently, it is the gold standard of all learning management system. Now, what exactly we are going to discuss today? Topics of discussion, in other words. The first topic is going to be an introduction to Moodle. What exactly is Moodle? What can one expect from this software? And where all it can be used. The second is the system requirements which are needed for Moodle to run. The third one is a hands-on video installation module of Moodle in your desktop or laptop. The fourth one is configuring the Moodle. Now, let us discuss a little bit about what exactly is Moodle. Moodle is actually a free open source learning management system. This is commonly used in schools, colleges, and universities to deliver online courses. You can even not only deliver online courses, you can even go to the extent of conducting online examinations. And students can access lessons, assignments, quizzes, videos, and the teacher can track their progress, in fact, in real time. And the most important aspect of this software is it is free to use and it's an open source software. And you can customize this software as per your institutional requirement. On top of it all, it has thousands of plugins, very useful ones that can be used to improve the functionality of the software. And it has an excellent course creation platform where teachers can add topics and weekly teaching modules. They can upload PDF files, text files, videos, and PowerPoint presentations. They can create quizzes, provide assessment to the learning students, and have a healthy forum discussions. And the students' performance can also be tracked by the inbuilt grading and analytical system. And it is this software supports competency framework. It supports lesson plans. It supports outcome-based education. That is the most important aspect. And on top of it, the Moodle mobile application is also available. So students can access these resources using their mobile phone. And now the current version of Moodle happens to be 5.1. This provides excellent security and it's a very useful learning management system. And every teacher should have a hands-on experience how to create courses and and run programs and courses in this LMS or learning management system. So what exactly are the system requirements to run Moodle? Initially, it needs a web server. For Moodle to run, it needs web server because the pages needs to be served on the web. So web pages need to be served on the web. And that can happen only in the presence of web server. And the server commonly uses preferably Apache server. And then Moodle is actually database driven software where all the resources are held in database. So the database server happens to be either MySQL, Postgres, or MariaDB. So in this lecture, we'll be focusing on the database of MySQL. So we won't be focusing on Postgres or MariaDB. Then PHP is the software on which language. PHP is actually a language on which Moodle is built. The minimum version that is required happens to be 8.2.0 and it should be a 64-bit one. And the following PHP settings should be ascertained or ensured. Max input vars. This value as a default will be 1000. but it should be changed to 5,000 because this max input vars is one value in PHP that helps the server to beat denial of service attacks. What exactly happens is if it includes a number of supposing people concurrently give a lot of instructions to the server, it gets overloaded and the server crashes. So in order to prevent the number of puts and gets from a single system or single user, this max input vars really helps. The default value happens to be 1,000. PHP actually limits this value to ensure that denial of service attack does not occur. But this Moodle is a highly resource intensive system, and the users are given the freedom of accessing multiple resources simultaneously. So that is the reason this value should be increased to a minimum of 5,000 or maximum of 10,000. The minimum disk space should be 5 GB, and the processor currently, this is the bare minimum required. Currently, the processor are anywhere above 3 gigahertz. The RAM should be minimum should be 1 GB. Currently, RAM is even the entry level system has 8 GB RAM. And the PHP extensions or modules that needs to be enabled are SOAP, curl, MB string, and the most important is zip. Without these modules being enabled, the installation will not progress. And secure socket layer or SSL layer should also be enabled to ensure the installation is secure. And now, in order to become friendly with Moodle, one needs to keep working on it on a daily basis. For that to happen, you need to have the Moodle software installed in your desktop or laptop, which can be easily accessed on a day-to-day basis. Because a Moodle server, Moodle after being installed in a server, if you give access and give training to the faculty, it becomes a little bit tricky and difficult for them to follow. But before giving them server access, if you can give them a hands-on experience on the Moodle interface, it will go a long way in improving their productivity. Now, this lecture is basically built upon how to make a Moodle installation install in your desktop or laptop. So these are the steps which you should follow. The first step happens to be a Laragon. Laragon is nothing but a web server, that is web server, which is Apache. Then you have the PHP module plus SQL. All these three servers are built into Laragon. So you need to install Laragon first and install Laragon in your desktop or laptop. And Laragon is actually a free software, but of course, the current version happens to be a shareware. It will give pop-ups prompting you to pay for the software. But you need not bother. Just on clicking the exit cross, the reminder or requesting you to purchase the software will go off. And bear in mind, the Laragon software Laragon window will be minimized and will be seated in your system tray. So as soon as you click the exit button of your payment reminder box, suddenly if you see Laragon window disappearing, don't panic. It is there minimized in your system tray. So this should be gone in. And then next comes creating a database to ensure that Moodle resources are correctly placed. So next comes the creation of Moodle database. And then comes Moodle installation. So this is the normal process steps involved in Moodle installation. I repeat again, first you need to install a local server, web server, which is the commonly used one is Laragon, which is most efficient and really good one. Then you install PHP MyAdmin. This PHP is a front end for creating or manipulating database of MySQL, because MySQL database can be created or manipulated only through the command line. In order to avoid, because majority of you may not be so friendly with command line, so there is a nifty GUI called PHP which gives you an interface to add, delete, add users to database and all that. This can be easily done using PHP Then using PHP we'll be creating a Moodle database. And then later, the Moodle files will be downloaded, placed into the web folder of Laragon, and then the installation starts. So let's go to the next step where we are going to download and install Laragon. So open up the browser of your choice and just search for Laragon. 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 That is what you see happening. I'm giving you a video clipping which happens to be a real-time recording of the entire installation process of Laragon. So you will have a roughly a fair idea of how long it is going to take for you to record. So you go to the Laragon web page, search for Google. So this is the Laragon web page. And then you go to the download button, click download, and then you hit to the download page. Before you click the download button, just spend some time reading up about the software. Now you're going to download the file. You click the link, download link. Then the moment you click, download will start. Ideally, this downloaded file will be saved to the download folder in your system. And I like to caution you, when you try to open this file to install, Windows will throw a caution. It will give you a warning that this file may be dangerous, because it's actually a server which gets installed into a Windows system. So Windows security invariably views this software or file with a bit of suspicion. So you need to override that caution and install the software. And you may also have warnings thrown out by your antivirus software already installed, or Windows Defender. And so you see, say Windows protected PC, the screen comes. Just don't close the dialog box. Go for click the more info button. If you click the more info button, it will give you the choice of run anyway. So you can run the software. So this software should be installed in the C drive. It should not be installed in the program folder. It should be installed in the root program, that root drive that happens to be the C drive. So the installation is fairly simple. You just keep clicking next button. The installation will proceed seamlessly, and ensure that automatically create virtual host button is checked, because if you don't create automatic host, it may find it difficult to open up your website, that is namely the Moodle site. So this is one way of ensuring that automatic virtual host is created and your Moodle installation will work on a local environment. So you will see the Laragon installation in progress. I am allowing it to happen real time. The installation is over. You run Laragon. The moment you run Laragon, you will get a warning from the firewall saying that network is being accessed. You just say it is okay. It may warn you 3 times. One is for the Apache server, the other one is for the MySQL server, the third one is for the Mailpit mail server. So now this is actually a Laragon window. So you have 3 servers. One is the Apache. The version is given right next to it, 2.4.62. And then 80 happens to be the port in which Apache communicates. Then you have the SQL. Then mail pit is the mail server. Now you go to menu and then look for PHP version. The version PHP happens to be 8.3.26. So it is fairly compatible with our Moodle installation. Now let us go to extensions, and here you ensure that zip extension is enabled. Zip extension is enabled, and then go to tools, and then you get PHP my admin. So you install for PHP my admin. The next stage is to install PHP my admin. So you see PHP my. This is again I am opening up the settings window to show the preferences where you can you have a choice of running Laragon when the window starts. If you check that box, it will start running as soon as the window starts. Then if you check the box run minimize, it will be running minimize in the system tray. And then start all automatically. If that box is checked, all the three servers will be automatically started without any input or request from you. And then auto create host is ideally by default is ensured. Auto update is for update. And then one thing you need to know is the services and ports. Apache usually runs in port 80, and this port 80 is commonly used by other what do you call uh, software like Team and Google Meet. They have a tendency to use this port. Suppose if these softwares are using this port, invariably the port won't be free and Apache may not run. So if that happens, you need to exit Teams or you need to change this port to some other thing other than 80. You can make it 1080 also. And then SSL we have not enabled. If you click the uh, box next to SSL, it gets enabled. Then MySQL normally runs in port 3306. So Mailpit runs in 1025. So if you click run, or start all, if you click start all the three servers will start automatically. So by clicking the server as start all the server will start automatically. Now the next thing I am going to do is open the Laragon, then install PHP myadmin. So you go to menu, then you go to tools, and then PHP myadmin. As soon as PHP myadmin is installed, the interface opens up. The username is root. There is no password. As here you go to the, you just keep watching the video carefully. You go to the users tab, user creation tab. You just click on it and then name the user as Moodle. Then create a password for the user, and then you need to repeat the password again, retype the password again, and then please ensure create database with the same name for the user. So that box should be checked, and then ensure that assign global privileges to the user. Again, that box needs to be checked here before you click on the go button. So you keenly watch this video and ensure that you follow all the steps as shown in the video clipping. Now you see the database being created, the password being keyed in. Global privileges have been assigned. On clicking go button, you can see the database created. So you see the database being created. On the left side column, you see the name Moodle database that has been created. On successful creation of database, the next step you do is to go and download Moodle files from the Moodle server. So this is the Moodle site. Then the current version happens to be 5.1. You download that. Choose to download the zip file. choose to download the zip file. And this file should be saved in your downloads folder. So you need to unzip the file. You right click that zip file, unzip it. You see that happening now. Being right clicked and unzipped. The unzipping process going on. I'm allowing the entire process to be recorded in real time, so that to give you a fair idea of how long the entire process is going to take. So that it has been unzipped. Double click on the unzip folder. There is one more folder that will become visible by the name Moodle. Just copy that folder and go to C drive. In the C drive, you will see a folder named Laragon. Inside Laragon, there will be a series of folders. Copying that file, you're supposed to go to folder called Laragon, and in the Laragon, there will be another folder called www. That www happens to be the folder in which you need to copy the Moodle file, Moodle folder, which you have copied. You need to paste it there. I repeat again, after you download the Moodle file, you need to download the zip file, not the tar file. You need to download zip file. It will be saved in the downloads folder. You right click on the zip file and choose unzip inside Moodle 5.02. And then after the unzipping process over, you double click on the unzip folder. You will see a folder named Moodle. Just right click on the Moodle folder, copy it, and then paste the same in C drive, where you will see a Laragon folder named Laragon, and inside Laragon there will be another folder called www. This www folder happens to be the web folder where all the files which are going to be visible in the web going to be stored. So just copy that Moodle folder into this www folder. So you see the copying is being done. I repeat again, we have downloaded Laragon, installed Laragon, then we have installed phpMyAdmin from inside Laragon, and then we have created a database for Moodle using phpMyAdmin. Now you see we have opened Laragon, then go to php ini file. You need to edit php ini file to change the settings which I have told. You just see the settings being changed. Max input vars value needs to be changed. So that is one thing which will prevent from your installation from proceeding further. So now what you do is you start all the servers in the Laragon by clicking on the start all button. And then what you do is go to Laragon, go to menu, www folder, and then there will be a folder listed as Moodle. Just click on Moodle, the installation will start. I repeat again, you open Laragon, then go to www, and then inside www submenu, you will see Moodle listed. Just click on the Moodle. Don't click on the Moodle data. Just click on the Moodle. Your installation will start. But you should have ensured that you've already clicked the start all button and all the 3 servers have been started. So now you see the installation process has begun. The first thing is you'll be prompted to choose a language. Then these are all default settings. You need not change anything. You can give next. Here again, allow this to take over the default value. Here you're supposed to give the name of the database, name of the user of the database, and the password which you have set for the user in phpMyAdmin. All these three values should be carefully, clearly, accurately typed before clicking the next button. I repeat, three values must be given. One is the database name, that is Moodle. The next is the username. The third one is the user password. Now it gives you the window where you're supposed to agree the terms of the software, usage of the software. Say you see here, there are certain issues highlighted in red. If an issue is highlighted in red, the installation is not going to progress. The first thing is it asks you to enable zip in PHP. So here you see the zip is being enabled. Zip module is being enabled. Just watch carefully how the zip module is being enabled. Now you see the SOAP module and the relevant modules are being enabled. Then when you scroll down again, you see the problem area. Max input is 1000. So it says I cannot proceed. The value should be a minimum of 5000. So how are you going to change the max input var to 5000 or 10,000 from the default value of 1000? Just watch this carefully. You need to open Claragon, go to menu, and then go to PHP, and then open up PHP INI. When PHP INI is opened, you just click on the binocular button, which happens to be the find button, and then type max underscore input underscore vars equal to. It will show that setting. You just change that setting from 1000 to 10,000. And the next comes a very important thing you should do, which is you should remove the semicolon in front of this value. I repeat again, the semicolon in front of max input vars should be removed. And then don't forget to save the file. So when the file is saved, the entire value has been changed. Now you should stop all the servers and restart again. I repeat again, after you commit these changes, you should stop all the servers and then click the start all button. And then you refresh the same page. Now the caution and all the warnings will go off. The installation will start. This is a time you can relax. You can be doubly sure the installation is going to be seamless. Just go for a coffee and come back. The installation would have seamlessly completed. I'm still allowing the entire installation process to be recorded real time. So you see the various PHP modules that are necessary for a proper Moodle installation are being installed. Most important thing about Moodle is its functionality can be improved by just adding modules and plugins. So that really helps a long way. So you can even customize your own modules. You can customize your own plugins to ensure that your Moodle installation is really customized to serve your institution. So you will see the installation progresses. Then Now the installation is over. Now we got to give continue. Click the continue button. Then you click the continue button. Now here you need to give a title for your LMS, Learning Management System software. Then you've got to give one is a long title, the other one is a short name. Then you need to give a admin, user admin. So you just give your name as admin user. You need to give a password. The password should have ideally one special character, numbers and capital letter. You need to repeat typing the password. Then if you check, force change the password after login, the Moodle installation will force you to change your password, the default allotted with default password into a password of your choice. But here we are not going to check that box because we are going to have a local installation. It's not going to be a server installation. We just give the details, user details here. Purely the user's name, user's second name, and the user's email ID. All these are given. And then comes general installation, general where in the next window here there was a problem when I keyed the password. I have not adhered to the password rule. Now I have changed the password as per the password rules. The password rule says there should be one special character. The length of the password should be more than 8. And then it should be mixture of numbers and letters. And it should have one capital, minimum of one capital letter. That is the password rules. Then on clicking the save, it takes you to the site home setting. You need to give the name of the site in the box provided, and then a short detail about the site. And then you need to key in the email ID of the system administrator and save. Here, while you give the settings for the site, you can give a brief resume of your brief details about your site. You can include pictures, you can include videos, whatever you want to see, whatever you want the user to see in the landing page. Okay. Then don't forget, for heaven's sake, to give out the email of the support staff. After this, installation is over. It takes you to the dashboard welcoming you. So you have successfully installed Moodle in your system.